Hi everyone and welcome to my channel Little Tummy, and I am your host Menka. When it comes to snacks time, we all love to have samosas. Maybe it's Sunday morning or in the evening with chai. It gives instant energy. Today I am making a Jali samosa, an easier version of the normal samosas we eat. And I am making it two ways, the fried version and the baked version. So join me in this recipe now. Now we start preparing the atta for the samosa, for which I've taken a bowl. Now I'm adding almost 1 cup of whole wheat flour. This is a normal atta that we usually use for making chapatis. And almost the same amount I'm using 1 cup of maida. So I'm dropping both of them together. If you want to avoid this whole wheat flour and completely use maida, you can do this because samosas are normally made with the help of maida, but I'm actually adding a combination of wheat flour and maida both. So once I have added both of them together, what I will do is I'll add the very first ingredient, that is the carom seeds, the ajwain, because this gives a very nice flavor and it's good for digestion also, since we are going to fry them and half of them we are going to bake it. So yes, I'm having both the versions this time. I'm baking it and as well as frying it, the samosas. Now once I've added the carom seeds, now I'm using almost 1/3 cup of olive oil. You can use a normal oil. Now with this crispiness, the khastaness, I'm adding this oil into this atta. Now once I've added the oil, I'm using almost a teaspoon of salt into it. We're adding this because we don't want this atta to be totally bland. We have some oil in the samosa's outer covering also, as well as the inner masala. Now once I knead the dough, let me just combine everything together with my hands. Now I'm combining this with the help of my hands properly before I add water into it and make it a dough. See, with the help of the oil, this dough should turn into this combined together. So you should have enough of oil, otherwise the samosa will not turn out crispy. Now once I've done this, I'll just start adding water slowly. We don't want a dough that is very soft or very hard. So we'll keep adding water step by step to make a dough which is perfect in consistency. Now I have kneaded the dough, and if you can see, this dough is neither very hard nor very soft. So just combine them together, and I've added a little oil on top of it so that I just make it a little non-dry. Now once I've kneaded this, what I will do is just cover it up with a plate and rest it for almost 10 to 15 minutes. And by this time we will prepare the masala for the samosa. For the masala, I've taken another bowl. Now I have almost 3 to 4 small sized boiled potatoes, which I've already boiled it and mashed it. I'll just put this into the bowl now. Now I have actually mashed it very well. Now to which I'm adding almost 2 to 3 tablespoons of this boiled peas. It's an optional thing. I've added this for the extra taste. You can add other veggies, or if you don't want anything else into the aloo, you can keep it as simple. Now to which I am adding almost 2 small chopped onion. This is again optional. If you don't want to add onions, it's on your taste. 1 chopped green chili. For the seasoning, I'm adding almost a tablespoon of chaat masala, half a teaspoon of garam masala, a teaspoon of Kashmiri lal mirch. Now adding almost 2 tablespoons of, this is grounded peanut. I've taken normal peanut, salted peanut, and I've converted into a powder. Now the reason I have done this is for the extra crunchiness, and as well as if you have some water or moisture content into the peas and aloos, this also acts as a binding agent. Now once I have done this, I'll add the salt. Now I'm adding salt according to the taste. The quantity depends upon how much salt you've added to the outer covering. So keep that into mind and just check this once you made a dough out of it. Now the last ingredient would be the rice flour. What I did not have a rice flour, what I did was I used a poha. If you have that ordinary poha or a chivda at home, I've converted that poha or a chivda into a powder. Now I'll add almost 3 to 4 tablespoons of this powder. You can use arrowroot or rice flour or breadcrumbs as a binding agent, because if there is some moisture in the peas, which peas usually have, or your aloo, then this will help in binding all of them together. Now once I've added everything into it, the last ingredient would be the jeera powder. The masalas all depend upon your taste. You can add whatever you like to add into the masalas, so make it more chatpata. So I'll combine all of them together and make it as a dough. Now I have actually combined all the ingredients together, and if you feel the salt is less in your masala, you can add it. I've just added a little bit of it once I was kneading it, and this is as thick as your dough right now. We don't want that mushy masala because we have to put this kebabs onto the dough, and then we have to roll the dough one on top of the other so that the masala is wet. This will spill out during the frying time, so this should be as thick. Now let's check on the dough, which has been resting for almost like 15-20 minutes now. So we'll just knead this once more and see how soft it is. Though I've not added the maida completely, and we've already made so many puris at home with the help of the normal wheat flour. So a combination of wheat and maida is my first try on this samosa. But still I think the dough is looking perfect in consistency. And now before I just start making the roti, what I'll do is I've taken almost a tablespoon of corn flour, or if you have a maida at home, since you've already made a dough out of the maida, you can use maida as well. Now I'll add a little water and make a thick paste out of it. Now the reason I'm taking this paste is that once I roll this dough, I have to add this extra outer thing, so that once I put my aloo ka tikki into it, I have to put this extra layer of this corn flour so that it sticks properly on that aloo. So it's just like a paste, a gluing thing, which I have to add at the edges of the dough. So just mix it well. So this is how I prepared this thick paste of this glue that I have to put this at the corner of the dough once I make it. So now just keep it aside and then bring my bowl of atta. Just remove it from the bowl and just try to knead it onto the slab now. Now once I roll it, because we don't want the whole atta, I'll just remove half of it and we need only the half portion. So cut along the center portion and remove the extra, and we need this and roll it into a chapati with this much dough. Now this is a simple dough, half the portion of what I've removed. Now with the help of the roller, just knead your dough into a form of a roti. Now you don't need extra oil into it since you've already added a lot of it. But if you feel like your roti is sticking onto the floor, add some maida. Now I've just rolled it into a big roti. What I will do is just cut it from the middle. Just add some oil to your chaku if you want, if it's not greased. So I'm just adding a little bit of oil on my chaku. Just slit it from the middle and again from here. So I've combined, and this is the 4 portion that I'm using it. See if you can see the thickness out of it. It's neither very patla nor very mota. Just separate them and then we will use it one by one for our fillings. Now we've taken 1 portion of this cut dough, and what I'll do is use a knife. This is a simple form of the samosa. We usually just join the samosa after we fill it inside it. But today I'm making the jali samosa. What I'll do is just make a slit at 1 portion. See, I'm using a slit. Use a normal knife. Just leave the edges. Don't cut them whole. And now I'm doing another slit. Just make sure you see the difference between the slits. I'm not using the same level of slits. If I've started from here, the next slit is just below this slit. And now keep making another one. In a similar way, we do this on the other side. Once I've done this, what I've taken is that aloo ka dough that we have prepared out of the potato and all the masalas. Just make it a long roll and flatten it with your hands, give it your shape, and now keep it just in the middle of it, making sure that you're avoiding the edges. Don't keep it very close to the edge. And now that ghole that we have made, the paste, the thick paste of corn flour or maida, with the help of a finger, just apply it at the edges, like a halwai does. And not halwai, but yes, practicing that it sticks well, just on the corners. Just a gluing portion. Now once I've added this paste, just pick up the one corner of this and place it like this. Now with the help of the other edge, you do the same thing and press it gently at the bottom of it like this, so that your aloo tikki is sealed well within this samosa, and this jali samosa is now prepared. In a similar fashion, we will do the rest of the samosas as well. Now what I have done is I prepared all the samosas, if you can see, and separated them, because these 4 samosas I will be frying and the rest 4 I will be baking. Now let's just keep the samosa for the baking, and I have already kept my oven at 180 degrees Celsius for preheating. Now before I place them into the oven, I've taken egg white, just a normal egg white, and I'll put an egg wash on top of the samosas. Now this is the optional part for the vegetarians who doesn't want to use egg. You can use a normal milk. That means a milk wash can be applied on top of the samosas. It's just that this egg gives an extra glazing on top of the samosas. So just gently apply them like you put a glaze, instead of which you can use a milk also. So once it's done, I'll just put these samosas for the baking purpose. Now this healthier version is just because people who don't want to eat the fried samosas are more into baking. So once I've done this, I'll just put this samosas into the baking for almost like 10 to 15 minutes till they are all crisp and golden brown color. Once I've actually placed the samosas into the oven, now the second batch will go into the oil. But I've taken a mustard oil, heated it well. Now I've just simmered it the flame. Now one by one, I'll just put it very slowly, the samosas, into the pan. Don't just overheat the oil. It should be on medium flame right now. And just place the second one now. Now I've added both of them into the pan. Don't just fill up your pan with the samosas, because I don't want they to be stuffed, because we need to just flip over. So keep some space into the oil. It's all in a medium flame, and then cook on the both sides for almost like 15 to 30 seconds. Now I'm giving a flip almost like after 15 to 30 seconds, so that it doesn't get burnt. If you can see, a golden brown color has come. Keep your flame on low or medium. Don't just pick up your flame in the middle. If you still see, because the samosas will remain kacha and the aloo will become all golden brown. So I'm just keeping it a very low flame until they are all golden brown. I'll just remove it and then put the next 2 samosas. See, I'm removing the samosa. It's all golden brown from both the sides, and just roll the second one also on the other side, and then we'll remove it in another half a minute. And by the time I'm adding another set of samosa, gently place it. So I've removed the previous 2 samosas and added a new one, and the similar manner we'll just do the same on these 2 samosas for 15-30 seconds. Just make it a little cooked at one side, and then we'll flip over. So my samosas are ready. If you can see, these are the fried ones, and this is the glazed one, the one that we have baked in the oven. Look at the glazing. I've made an egg wash on top of it, and this totally cooked almost in 15 to 20 minutes. And guys, do enjoy this recipe. It's very simple to make, one from the normal samosas that we actually make and eat from the shops. Cook at home with your evening snacks and your tea. And if you like this recipe, do comment and subscribe my channel if you have not done, so that you wait for my next recipe. So till then, enjoy this recipe and have a nice day. Bye-bye.